Hey, what's going on, guys? So my friends at NIS America sent me another code for review, so I actually got to check out Mad Rat Dead. This is a game I knew nothing about going into it, and I'm gonna tell you, it's weird. I couldn't put it down, and I don't know why. So without much further ado, let's get into this game and let's talk about Mad Rat Dead on the Switch. So the first thing we need to ask ourselves is, what is Mad Rat Dead? Mad Rat Dead is like an action platformer, but it's completely rhythm-based. I do want to preface this review with saying that I am having to run through a capture card, so everything is slightly delayed. So if you're watching the gameplay and it says like, hey, you suck, that's not entirely my fault, because when I was playing this on my TV and in handheld mode, I definitely did way better than what you're looking at here. A couple things I want to show you in the beginning though. They also have a sound check, which is basically the sound test where you can go through and listen to all the songs. They have a level select. They have a trophy system, the main story mode, of course, that goes through the campaign with all the story and the cutscenes. There's really a lot with this game. I'm telling you what, though, you're really going to want to hang out in the sound check area, because being that this is a rhythm game, definitely that is like where the highlight of like this game's strong suit is. The music is really awesome, has really good pacing and beat to it, which really makes sense because, I mean, you're going to be tapping a lot of buttons in rhythm with the game, so obviously the soundtrack is a highlight of this game. Now, the tutorial level does a really good job of kind of explaining what you're going to be doing. You can walk around at a slug's pace, but really you want to keep tapping the A button, which lets you dash. Now, you can hold forward to get a longer dash, or hold back to get a little bit of a shorter dash, which you're going to be gauging with your jumps, but everything is in rhythm with the beat. Now, there are several different moves you have. You basically have the dash, like I explained earlier, the jump, which lets you jump and you can chain the jump and the dash. You have a straight drop, where when you press the button you drop immediately down. And you also have like a wall jump, which is also in timed. It's basically by pressing jump near a wall, you'll go back and forth, back and forth. Think like Mario 64 or maybe Mega Man X. But everything is in rhythm, which means that if you are not in rhythm, the move itself will fail. So if you go for a jump or a dash and you're not in rhythm, it might cut too short or it might drop you down, basically messing you up pretty good. It's cool though because it really has a solid just rhythm to it. So as you're going, it feels right. It feels like you want to keep pressing the buttons in order. And of course, by doing that, you progress. Now, the major way to lose a level is to obviously run out of time. You run out of time, you get a game over. Best way to avoid running out of time is just to stay with the beat. Now, one thing I learned while playing this game that I did not really realize until I was more than like 2 or 3 levels in is you don't have to press a button every beat. Now, I wanted to press a button every beat, but there's certain times where I kept hitting enemies or falling down pits because it's like my character wasn't quite ready. Maybe a platform needed to move or an enemy needed to be in the right spot. But I was so used to pressing the button rhythmically that I would basically, dash into an enemy or something. But you can actually wait and hold off and then pick it back up, and you will not lose your combo. That's kind of a cool thing, but it's also a thing that I feel like they didn't explain, and if they did, maybe I breezed over it. But just know that if you are playing this game, you don't need to be pressing a button every single second, even though, like me, you're probably going to want to. Speaking of enemies, they're basically like a Technicolor splat from like the old Nickelodeon logos. They're kind of crazy, but I mean, it's kind of neat. As you go with the beat, you'll get a lock-on on them, and basically you can press any of the buttons to do an attack on them. Jump will dash you up into them, dash will dash you forward into them, and the drop will get them if they're below you. You do want to wait for the lock-on to actually lock on, because if you do one of these movements too soon, that's what results in you, taking damage, or in this case, getting hit, which will kill you. Death, however, is not permanent. In this game, it's kind of crazy. Every time you get hit or fall down a pit, this gauge pops up to where you can rewind time by several beats. I'm wanting to say maybe 10 or so beats, but it's kind of neat because it lets you replay things over and over again. It kind of reminds me of like a Prince of Persia kind of thing. But either way, it's very friendly in that regard, that you can rewind and continue on. Now, you know, this will get frustrating if you get stuck in a spot that has a lot of enemies and you just feel like you maybe set up wrong. That actually did happen to me once, where I ended up restarting the level because I, for the life of me, could not rewind far enough to get a fresh start. So I was in the middle of like all of these enemies and stuff. So it's like a blessing and a curse. For the most part, I'd say it's a blessing. It's a very cool mechanic, and I really like how they integrated that into the system. Now, the plot of the game is something, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really the biggest fan of. It's not bad or anything, but basically you're a rat who works in a lab. Well, okay, works is a very loose term. You're a rat in a lab who gets experiments done on them, and the game starts out with you getting killed. You get killed by a scientist who, I assume, dissected you. Basically, this rat god thing has given you the ability to go back in time, and you get a full day, and you can do whatever you want, and you choose revenge. So the whole point of the game is you are going back to the lab to kill the scientist who killed you. Now, that seems like a cool plot, but I feel like the conversations just drug on. At the beginning of every level, it's like it keeps talking and talking and talking, and like that's not bad. Like, I know I'm kind of complaining about plot, which is like silly because, you know, a game with plot is awesome. But with this particular style of game, and really this game in particular, I find myself really just wanting to play it. So, you know, at the intro of this level, for instance, you're talking to all these rats who are trapped in a cage, and there's a whole big dialogue of, hey, I'm here to free you, we gotta go kill the lab technician, and they're like, oh, you know, I don't want to leave. And I just found myself mashing eggs. I'm like, okay, I get it. Let me get back to the music. Let me get back to the game. Which kind of brings me to one more weird point. This is just a personal thing. I've never been a big rhythm game person. You know, when I'm playing a platformer, I like to run through and do it on my own time. But when I was recording footage for this game, when I was playing this game, you know, without the lag, of course, I really found myself like, just, hey, one more level. You know, why not? Just one more level. Just one more level. And I did that a lot. I just couldn't put this game down. It's awesome. I don't know why though. It's not anything groundbreaking or anything new. But, you know, maybe it's something about just the combination of the music and the art style, or I'm really not sure. But this game is a blast, and I just really could not tear myself away from it. I really had to kind of put a hard stop on it so I could edit this video. But, I mean, what do you guys think? This is a weird little rhythm game, but it's definitely something that, you know, it's something to check out, in my opinion. So that's Mad Rat Dead on the Switch. Pretty crazy game. Like I said, you know, I tried to put it down, but I kept being like, just one more level. You know, one more level. And I just really kept playing it. kept going and kept going. I really enjoy the music. I'm not really much on the plot, like I said, but very cool game. That being said, hey, it comes out October 30th. It's, you know, something to definitely sink your teeth into. You know, if you're a fan of rhythm games but want something kind of different, I think this might be the one that you need to check out. And that's going to do it for us today, guys. Hey, once again, thank you so much for watching the video. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you feel any kind of way. Leave some comments down below what you think about this game. Kind of a weird one, kind of a strange one, but it's definitely different. But hey, as always, take it easy.